Welcome to the High Volume Hiring Podcast. I am Stephen Rothberg. I'm the founder of College Recruiter, and this is episode 125. Jeanette, my apologies in advance for forcing you to spend so much time with me. Just going to have to get over it. You've got a quick path to heaven.
Right.
When
Milestone episode 125. So we're excited because today we have Michael Gomez with us, and we're going to be talking about, can you really increase employee engagement by making benefits affordable? Michael, you have to tell us. And so just, to introduce you a bit to our listeners, and you can tell us a bit more. I know, basically, we were talking in the green room, you have a lot of experience as a quote unquote classically trained HR executive. So we always love having practitioners on. Mm-hmm. So maybe just give us a little bit more background on you, and then we'll go into say, tell us can we really make these changes? So
wow. Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's great to be here with both of you. Yeah. Well, I'm a classically trained HR executive, 30 years of experience, brands like AT&T, PepsiCo, Walt Disney, McDonald's, and most recently with the Tasty Restaurant Group. This is the 15th largest franchisee in the country, right? They have 6 brands, iconic brands, and a great high growth organization, although young, 7 years in the making. I am also 20 years as a HROD consultant, executive search consultant. So I place executives, I mentor executives, executive coaching, and a lot of OD strategic work. So that's my background.
Great.
So when you say classically trained HR professional, are we talking Juilliard, or what are we talking here?
We're talking labor relations, employee relations, compensation, benefits, staffing, OD, education, learning management systems, AI enablement, stuff like that.
Excellent. Well, I know, this is a real hot topic. And, we started talking about a bit in the green room about employee engagement, increasing this. And you have a real strong point of view by, you can increase this by making benefits affordable. You've done a lot of really interesting, cutting edge, innovative work. Maybe just start to some of your point of view on this as we get into, some of this topic.
Yeah. Well, it's along the path of looking at doing the gap analysis for your organization to build a human capital strategy.
Yeah.
Right. You have to look at the various disciplines, and we mentioned comp, benefits certainly being one.
Yeah.
And when I looked at it, it's we offered, good benefits. A bronze plan, Blue Cross Blue Shield, an American Worker, a minimal essential coverage plan. It's wow, these are pretty good plans. They do a lot of offerings in the plan, and you look at it and you're like, this is what we're offering, and that's good that we're offering that. And sadly, that's where it ends.
Mm.
And no one stops to look at, well, who's actually using it?
Right.
And when you peel back the onion, you see that 93% of the people were not. Why? Because they can't afford it. There's nothing left in their check.
Yeah.
So what are you accomplishing, really? Right? It looks great on the outside, but in terms of, and this is a problem that employers, across the country, across industries have, especially at the hourly level, my goodness, mm-hmm. Right? And so we needed to do something about it. And so what we did was we looked at the U.S. tax code under Section 125. We see that there's a 501c3 nonprofit for low-income, seasonal, and hourly workers that is, in fact, partnered with a minimal essential coverage plan. And in doing so, it offsets the cost of the plan entirely for the employee. Wow. Really? Right? So here we are, in the QSR industry, hourly employees. That's what we have. And you know what? Within the tax code, there's a 501c3 for hourly employees, which is what we have. And so when you line that up against a minimal essential coverage plan called HealthWorX, it provides tremendous benefit to the employees at the same time at no net cost. So I was like, sounds
That's
too
cute.
good to be true. This
Right,
sounds too
right.
good to
What's
be
the
true.
catch? Like, does this really, can you really
Right.
make
What's
it
the
happen?
catch? And so
Yeah.
I took 6 months for the most part to vet this
Wow.
plan, and when you get into it, you realize there's never been a legal challenge or fine. It's audited by the Department of Justice every year. It's been through the Department of Labor audit successfully, and as a result, growth is 5x as a result. And so fully vetted. But when you get into it, you realize that these plans are confused with a 105B plan, which has had issues, which is not required to be audited, which requires participation, and as a result, education and training on an ongoing basis. It is not fun.
So this one's like the easy button compared to the one that's not so easy.
Oh
Is
my
that like
gosh.
sort of making it like, let's
Oh my
like,
gosh.
make it simple, right?
Yeah.
Easy button versus like, oh, there's a lot of red tape.
Yeah, but so buyer beware. I got to tell you, these decisions are very, very important. So, I looked at it, vetted it. The ERISA attorney, 20-year ERISA attorney, Jared Pope, now CEO of WorkShield, called it the golden egg within the U.S. tax code for hourly workers. Okay.
So,
No, excuse me. Now, keep in mind that
yeah.
there's 100 brands in the portfolio. They all have ERISA attorneys. That's 100 ERISA attorneys looking at this, right? Plus the audits I mentioned. So anyway, vetted, a very vetted plan, right? So it has a number of benefits. If let's say, for example, you pass away, all of a sudden you have a term life insurance policy, $25,000 to your family or your designated recipient. Wow, at a time of need, at no net cost to you. You don't pay it, it pays you, right? What plan do you know that does that? Okay. So you get in an accident, you get a check. You get admitted to a hospital, check for $1,000. You need to stay for a month, money every day thereafter for 30 days. Discounts on prescription drugs. And for what? For being auto-enrolled.
It's amazing.
It's fantastic.
From a recruiting standpoint, you talk about like the benefits of like, okay, why would you want to choose that company over another one, right? Like these are benefits that are, what I'm hearing is free, right? Like to the employee.
It's at no net
Or
cost. In fact,
no
you
net
get a
cost.
little bit more money in your check. So everybody gets a raise. I mean, it's like, wow. So I live this, right? And so, but one of my concerns is like, wow, so we're going to have to show the mechanics of the transaction on the check. We're going to have to show the HealthWorX plan, the cost, and then it being offset by the nonprofit every check. And I'm like, can our payroll provider do this? You know what I mean? And so we had to look at the configuration that was needed and get the teams together, and the HRS was involved, right? And they pulled it off. Okay, but I didn't know. Okay, I was worried, but they pulled it off, and 100 other brands have pulled it off. But that was one area that I wasn't an expert in, and I wasn't controlling. Yeah. And so I worry about stuff like that. Okay.
So for the members of our audience, and I'm going to put myself into that group, although I like to call myself a fully recovered lawyer, my wife would say partially is a better description for that. And I did some Section 125 work for Honeywell years and years ago when it came out. I'm not familiar at all with the 501c3. So for the practitioners, for the people who are listening that just don't know anything about this, are you talking about the employer becoming a 501c3 organization? Is this another organization? Is there some grant? I mean, like, walk us through sort of in, like, what were those books? Like Coding for Dummies, all those For Dummies books.
Give us a 2-minute.
Yeah,
like, how to do this.
Like what from like and if there's no cost, like who pays for it?
Wow. Let me say this about that.
Yeah.
First of all, it's a partnership between HealthWorX, right? The company is WorXsiteHR, they're a California-based company.
Okay.
Right? And the name of the plan is HealthWorX, which is partnered with this 501c3. So the company that adopts a plan that has that partnership. The plan has that partnership. And as a result, the mechanics occur within the organization and the accounting where they pay for the plan, but then money's returned from the nonprofit offsetting that for the company and also within the employee checks. That's the functionality of it. Okay. And the other thing I would say about it in terms of really understanding it is that the company will actually take your payroll weekly by weekly and run it through their model and tell you exactly what it's going to do. And that was
Okay.
one of the big pieces for me, right? Because they're like, yeah, we're going to look, it's going to kick back 2.5 million in FICA and SUMA tax savings. I'm like, really?
Say that again?
I'm like, oh, really? You know, I'm like from Missouri, I'm the show me state. I'm like, show me.
Right.
And,
It's
and
Yeah.
and they're like, they did. They're like, here it is. And it worked out. Every month you see the money's like, coming in. So I had a chance to, vet the plan, implement it, see the benefits, see it all being realized, as well as in the stories, which is the funnest part.
Yeah.
Right. The phone calls. It's like, did you hear about Mary? No, what happened? She had an accident in Montana. She had to get airlifted to the hospital. HealthWorX paid for it. Are you kidding me? No, yeah. And then because she had an accident, they sent her a check. And because she got admitted to the hospital, they sent her a check for $1,000. Are you kidding? It's like that, right?
That's
It's like,
wonderful.
you hear about John? Yeah, he passed away. The family got 25,000. It's like, oh, well, that's good. They needed that money, And you start, it's all of a sudden you start seeing stuff in the newsletter, right? But when you benchmark other organizations, as we did, for example, for one, really, talented franchisee, Ganesh, Anthony Robinson is the chief operating officer over there, and he had adopted this plan like 4 years ago. He was like way ahead of everybody. He saw the light. Okay. There's 100 brands doing this. I wish I was like number one doing it. Okay. I got in late, because you lose the opportunity to save money as a result of not being in and not making the right decision. But anyway, I got to tell you, when we benchmarked with them, they saw a 100-point drop in the numbers. So 230 turnover, 230% down to 130%. You realize, what is that worth? That's $100K in that one restaurant. How do we know that? Well, Center of Hospitality Leadership, right? Cornell University have done multiple studies on turnover. Pizza Hut restaurant, 25 in the restaurant, 150% turnover. It's costing you $140K. So the percent is close to the cost.
Yeah.
Right? Across a whole bunch of restaurants. For us, that's $7.5 million.
That's amazing.
Okay. So it's massive in terms of the impact and cost in terms of turnover. But so it's a huge opportunity there.
Yeah.
It's a sure thing on a FICA and SUMA tax benefit, a sure thing. Right. And what's also a sure thing is the benefit to thousands of lives that you're providing these benefits to at no net cost to them.
It's amazing.
Jeanette, I think we have time for one super fast question and answer.
So, again, this sounds like amazing, not too good but to be true. I joke around. I'm like, Jersey girl living in New York, so very skeptical. Is there any downside?
What's the catch?
Is there anything? Because this sounds like, assuming your company qualifies and the employees do at the compensation level, any downside, at all? Because I'm not hearing anything, and I just gotta ask.
I got to tell you, I'm still looking for it. I would say this. I remember this has to do with taxes, right? And it's like all that. And if you're not as an employee electing not to have state and federal tax taken out of your check, well, you can't participate. Okay, so that would be just FYI. And how many people out of 7,500 did that impact? Well, 14 people for us. Okay,
yeah.
But I still sent them
minimal.
a letter.
Yeah,
I still sent them a letter. Okay.
Yeah.
So the other keys to success with this is to educate people what it is. And so we had massive training sessions, video, teleconferencing calls all over the country, right?
Yeah.
We, presenting the model, educating people beforehand. right? And then giving them an opportunity. If you don't like this, tell us, we won't enroll you. And then if you enroll and you don't like it, you can get
You
out.
didn't like it out. Yeah.
You can get out. So very flexible, but it's one of the cool things that I think ultimately, as HR professionals, we want to have impact, but we want impact that's sustainable.
Yes.
That when long after we've left, we can look back and see people are still benefiting from the processes, systems that we put in place. Right. And that certainly
Totally agree.
is one of the legacies.
Yeah,
I have.
absolutely.
Awesome. Well, this is cool. I'm going to put the links to what was it? HealthWorX.
HealthWorX, WorXsiteHR, HealthWorX. Yeah.
I'll put that in.
Here's my email, mike@mgidelivers.com, mike@mgidelivers.com.
Great. Anyone reach out with questions?
Absolutely. I'll happy to answer questions on the program. I know a lot about it, and happy to be assistance to both of you.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Thanks, everyone, to our listeners. And until next time, have a great day, everyone.
Cheers.
Take care.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Bye.